Welcome to my world, bitch. I should warn you, princess. The first time tends to get a little messy.
Hello, everybody. I'm John,
I'm Justin.
and we're the Gore
Goblins.
And today,
It's fucking
we're
cold.
talking about movies we like and don't like, and some we've never seen.
Yeah.
And it is currently 29 degrees in our great state of Texas. You're gonna hear the heater in the background. I can't do anything about that. I'm not gonna record this shit in sub-freezing weather. My room's already cold enough because I don't have insulation.
Guess what? It's going to be colder tomorrow.
And it's going to be even colder tonight and tomorrow, and then tomorrow night it's going to be great. So yeah, that's where we're at. We just love recording during inclement weather. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, we had rain last time.
See what we do for you. See what we do. This is all for you. But yeah, no, it's it's fine. I'm just a little cold. But that's okay. You're just gonna hear the heater. That's fine. But yeah, so today we're talking about Freddy versus Jason.
Yep.
Came out in 2003, 21 years ago.
The movie can drink now.
21 years ago. I remember the hype train for this movie. I remember the like the TV spots and shit. I remember all that. Maybe not like all of it, but I remember a good chunk of it. And this was, and looking back on it, especially what I know now of both franchises and their fucking hell that their rights are, it's kind of a miracle that this movie exists.
Yeah.
And, I'm not saying we should have gotten more, like horror matchups or whatever.
Shit, I want that.
I mean, it'd be cool, but like, well, who else? I mean, outside of Ash, I guess. But like, who else could you even do?
You
Like,
could have Jeepers Creepers versus Pumpkinhead because they're both basically invincible.
that's fair. I know.
Critters versus Gremlins.
I read somewhere that a studio wanted to do Chucky versus Candyman, which is why Tony Todd was like, I don't want to do this anymore. He's like, I really don't want to. He's like, that sounds fucking stupid. I don't want to do this anymore. Which is like, what about those two? Is it because of like, I guess a voodoo element? I guess, but like, no, like that doesn't work. That just seems, I don't know, that I don't like that. I don't think that would have worked. And then I know there was Michael Myers versus fucking Pinhead, I think, which
That wouldn't work.
that wouldn't work either. If you're going to put Hellraiser with anything, I guess it would be Jason. But I don't know, man. This movie, it's a miracle it exists. It's very much a product of its time, much like any other slasher. But this time it's early 2000s, so you got a bunch of fucking new metal riffs in the background. You got some humor that politically correctness-wise probably hasn't aged well, but they're terrible people saying it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I could get over it. But yeah, this movie's something else. It really, so, because you watched like AVP, right? You watch Alien versus Predator. That first one, I remember liking it a lot when I saw it in theaters when I was a kid. That was actually the first Alien or Predator movie I ever watched.
What?
Yes, and you know who my mom is. She would not let me watch R-rated movies. But I was like, I watched that I was able to because it was PG-13. And yeah, it was I remember liking it a lot. I think if I watched it now, I'd be like, wow.
No, it wasn't. It was rated R.
No, there's an R-rated cut with shitty CG blood, but in theaters it was PG-13. I remember because that's how I sold it to Mom, because I'm like, Mom, it's only PG-13, I could go. And then,
Well, the second one was rated R.
the second one was rated R. Too bad you can't see any of the cool practical effects because it's so fucking dark!
I mean,
but outside
it's
of that,
still a good movie.
Outside of that, yeah, it's all right.
Got my gamer tag from that one.
It delivers on the premise more than its predecessor, because the first AVP, I mean, I kind of like the idea of the predators hunting the xenomorphs. That's kind of neat. But in hindsight, I don't think it's that great.
Not just hunting them; they're the ones that brought them to Earth
Yeah.
and fucking started the whole bullshit with the humans.
That's right.
I mean, I believe it, but
what a movie.
it's dumb in some ways.
A little bit. I do like that they kept the Predators consistent in terms of honor when, they noticed Lance Henriksen's weak-ass heart or whatever, this polyps in his lungs or whatever the fuck it was.
So he decided to...
And then he was like, all right, Chief, I'm going to let you... You're going to die anyway. I'm just going to let you enjoy your life. And then he's like, oh, fuck you, actually. And then it's like...
No, he's like, don't turn your back on me. And
why would you do that?
He burns the Predator.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? That's what I'm asking. But anyway, yeah. So I feel like this movie delivers on the premise of Freddy versus Jason more than AVP delivered on that premise. Requiem is something else. That one, Requiem feels more like what I would have expected from an Alien versus Predator thing. And then obviously the games are,
fucking amazing.
Their own thing.
What year did that fucking one on 360
2010?
That game was fucking
14
great.
years old now. Yeah, it's on. It's backwards compatible on Series X. I had it for a little bit. I don't know what I did with it.
I still need to beat the Marines campaign on Nightmare, but it's such a bitch.
Don't do that to yourself. Anyway,
I got to the end of the level and stepped in a puddle of acid and died. And then I had to start all over.
Oh, is it permadeath?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's Dead Space.
If you die on the hardest difficulty, you start the entire mission over.
Oh, the entire mission, not the whole game.
Not the whole game.
Okay,
just
so
the
there's
mission.
no checkpoints within the missions.
Yeah.
Okay. No, because in Dead Space, in the remake, if you die, bye. That's it. I mean, you could cheese it because if you pause the game right as Isaac flatlines, you can quit out of it before it counts as a death. So you could cheese it a little bit, but if you fuck that up, bye. I guess that's why it's good to save. You could save scum on PS5 if you have cloud saves. Which is only available with PlayStation Pro, which is extra shitty because that's going up to $80 a year. That's dumb. Why would you do that, Sony? Anyway, I mean, I know why. And
look, we can copy Xbox.
I'm not proud of it. But yeah. So this is Freddy versus Jason definitely delivers on that premise. No Kane Hodder, which is unfortunate.
Unfortunate, but I'm fine with the guy who's in Jason.
He's all right, but he just kind of feels like I don't know. I really missed that.
He felt like he was kind of scared to do things. At some points,
Jason felt a lot more timid than I wanted him to.
Well, it's
in
like
this one.
He didn't want to try to copy anybody else who did Jason. He was just trying to find his own way to do it. But
that came through.
I like that we finally
worst
got
ways.
uncensored Jason kills though.
Oh yeah. Post Jason X, yeah. But yeah, I really missed that that presence that
The
fucking
bulky Jason.
that Kane Hodder has. That's like
See, that's why the remake Jason works, because even though he's slimmer, he's fucking gigantic also.
yeah, it's like a Tyler Mane thing in Halloween.
Yeah.
And Rob Zombie's Halloween, where God that fucking. That fucking bit where he's bashing into the door and you see his face through the fucking this fucking tall ass door and you see his mask through the window. That's so fucking scary. God damn it, I love it. All right, but yeah, that's I did miss Kane Hodder a little bit. Outside of that though, I mean it's
Hey, but he did wasn't it a record breaking fire stunt though?
oh yeah.
Walking the furthest on fire.
He definitely did that. That was a cool shot. There's a lot of really cool shots in this movie, and they mentioned in the special features that Ronnie Yu did a lot of Hong Kong action movies, and I think that's why the action doesn't feel corny. It definitely feels a little weird, if only because of the dated CGI, but it doesn't feel corny. I wouldn't say. I don't know. You don't have Freddy doing martial arts kicks. He's fighting like I feel like Freddy would, and Jason, it's Jason. So, but yeah, there was a lot of cool cinematography too. That bit where he's on fire, and it cuts to that overview shot of him burning through the crops. That's fucking awesome. I was like, damn, that's cool. That's a cool ass shot. And I mean that's to say that this is probably it's definitely one of the better Friday the 13th movies. Which is what I would consider it.
I considered it a nightmare movie, really. Because the opening, I mean, when the movie starts, the first theme you hear is Nightmare. So
yeah, that is true. But it's just weird. It was funny watching the special features because like there's Sean Cunningham and Bob Shea both talking separately about the movie, and I'm like, this is fucking weird. Like this feels like it shouldn't be happening. This is bizarre. But no, I mean, it feels more like a Friday the 13th movie, but the premise feels more like a Nightmare on Elm Street, if that makes sense. Like the way it's shot and the way the kills play out and stuff feels, because I feel like Freddy doesn't really get a lot of the kills because
he's not
at
in power most of the
because
movie.
he's not in power most of it, and most of the time he like people die as a consequence of what he's doing to try to stop Jason, which I think works. That's why I consider it a Friday movie, because it feels like Jason's kind of, it feels like a Jason movie. The only thing is that Freddy's the one that brought him back. Which that's the main premise, is that Freddy, just like kind of like Nightmare on Elm Street 2, he's like, hey, nobody fucking remembers who I am. God damn it. I gotta
spread the fear.
He's like, I searched through the bowels of hell to try to find the perfect person, and I found him. And then like he disguises himself as Jason's mom, and then he basically tells him, go kill for mom, whatever the fuck. And then
Jason's revival scene was cool too.
Yeah, that shit
the
where
beating heart
and his lungs fill up.
Yeah.
That's a really cool touch. I really liked that. But you also get Freddy's origin again.
Again.
And there's no doubt about it, folks. He definitely touched those kids. Yep. There's no fucking way he did not. And not just for the opening scene alone, but also there's a point where he almost has Lori, and he starts putting his claw like up her skirt, and I was like, wait, hold on. Hold on a second. This Freddy definitely did that shit. There's no way he did at this point. Yeah, in that opening scene, he kills a little girl. You don't see it, obviously.
Well, you see what he does.
Yeah, later on.
Like,
what is he, like, yeah, but...
Gouged her eyes out.
And then he, like, licks a picture of her, the back of a picture of her, I guess, so that way he can put it in his little scrapbook. And then, you know, the same as it ever was, the people from... the people from the parents of Elm Street were like, hey... fuck you.
Yeah, exactly like that.
And they threw a Molotov cocktail into the place, and Freddy burned the fuck up, and he died. And then no Dream Masters here, though. We don't get that where they offer him immortality or whatever the fuck it was, and Freddy's dead. I don't know.
You know,
none of that shit.
I was thinking.
But he's dressed the same way, which I thought, I for like a split second, I thought they're gonna do that. No, thank God they didn't do that.
You know what I was thinking? If the parents, even though they're not, it's the new generation of parents, but they still know about Freddy and all the shit that went on before. It's like, why wouldn't you tell them about it so maybe they could have their dream power shit? But I don't know.
Yeah.
I just felt like the parents could have avoided more danger if they were just honest about Freddy.
Well, that's the whole idea of those movies, is that not hiding things from your kids, you know, ends up doing more harm than good in the long term. So, like, you know, trying to shelter your kids from certain evils will in turn make them more vulnerable to them in the future. Like, you know, so like not talking to teenagers about sex and pregnancy naturally leads to them experimenting with each other and getting pregnant, and then, you know, you have that whole problem. So that's the idea. That was like the point, is that listen to your kids, and also don't try to shelter them too much, because they need to know some things to function as adults. And that's kind of the whole point. So yeah, you're right. If they had just been like, hey, there's this fucking burnt motherfucker, don't ever say his name, and also we killed him. So, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But yeah, Freddy revives Jason, and he's like, go to Elm Street, bitch. And then Jason's like, all right. He's like, all right, I got it. So then he goes to Elm Street. And
how close it is to Crystal Lake.
Yeah, well, we're not going to think about that. I will say that the movie doesn't really waste a whole lot of time,
I mean,
which is appreciated. It doesn't feel like a lot of the Friday movies where it's just a lot of setup, especially in fucking New Blood. Oh my God, where it's just a lot of introduction to characters that you don't fucking care about, and it's just like, okay, when's Jason gonna show up so I can get something out of this? But it doesn't really waste any time. It's just Lori and her friends having a sleepover at Lori's house.
what was her Kia?
Kia
You said Lori and her friends having a sleepover at Lori's house.
It is at Lori's house.
Yeah, but it sounded weird when you said it
Well,
like
you know
that.
what? I'm a weird man. All right, I don't care.
And then there's what the fuck was that girl's name? Kim or Gib? I don't know what the fuck they were saying.
It doesn't matter. She's got a shitty ass fucking piece of shit ass boyfriend
Named Trey.
who's just a fucking asshole.
You know,
And
anybody named Trey is a fucking douchebag.
And I think it's funny because they ask her, like, why do you even like him? And she's like, he's got a cute butt. And I'm like, that is stupid. I'm like, what are you doing? That is a dumb reason.
But we've all known a girl that's like that.
Why do you care? First of all, unless you're pegging this man, why do you care if he's got a cute butt? That's all I'm saying. What does a straight girl get out of a cute butt? Like, outside of pegging a man, you know what I mean? Like, that's what because I like guys with nice butts for obvious reasons. So, that's me. But I don't understand why a woman would be like, oh, I love it. He's got a nice butt. He's got a nice ass. Cool? What? Why is that, like, because you're not looking at the ass while he's fucking you. Like, that's, I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't, whatever. Maybe they were pegging. Who knows? Either way, no shame in it. It's still straight. It's okay. Don't worry about it. But if you like getting freaky, that's all right. We support it. We're goblins after all. So, I mean, we got to support it.
Yeah.
But, so...
Yeah,
So they go upstairs
and fuck.
and it's very funny because what does Trey say? Like, oh yeah, fuck me or something like that.
Yeah.
In like the most macho man voice that I've ever heard in my life. Anyway, they have sex or whatever, and Jason's
He senses a disturbance in the force.
yeah, as he does. It's just teenagers fucking. He's
Oh my
like, all right,
God.
buddy, hold on.
Mentioning Star Wars, I watched episode 1 the other day. It was so jarring to see those effects in 4K.
Yeah, no, it is.
I've never seen that one in
No,
4K.
it's
And I
yeah.
was like, what the fuck?
Even on Blu-ray, even on the regular Blu-ray I have, I was like, oh.
No, because, like, I remember the VHS, like, Jar Jar looked realistic to me. But then watching it in 4K, I was
You
like...
were also watching it on a CRT, which hit a lot of those, those discrepancies, for lack of a better term, that I can't think of because I'm a silly little boy.
Just like when I'm watching a Star Wars movie, I don't care about anything that's going on. It's just a fun time.
Yeah, that's how you should watch them, except for Attack of the Clones. Actively hate it when you watch it because it's not good. Anyway.
I like it.
You know what? That's fine. I don't. But anyway.
It's entertaining.
Anyway.
It's a little over dramatic at some points.
Definitely fuck. That's my problem with it. It's too over dramatic. Oh, I didn't just kill them, but I killed their women and children too. And I'm like, all right, buddy, I get it. You're turning bad. I know what's gonna happen. It's okay. Poor Hayden Christensen. Anyway, so
He's fine.
So yeah, I don't think he's that bad.
He lives on a farm now.
I don't think he's that bad in part 3, but
Just his brief appearance in Obi-Wan was great.
yeah. All that stuff were the better parts of Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? We were talking about. He sensed a
Jason
disturbance.
sensed a disturbance, and then he goes and fucking
Well, you know how
shanks
Jason
Trey
is.
like a motherfucker.
Yeah, you know how Jason is. Jason's like, I consent, so do I. And then Jason pops up and says, "Isn't there someone you forgot to ask?" Holding a picture of Jesus Christ, and then he kills you because he does not like that you're fucking. He's like out of wedlock, more like you're deadlock or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jason wouldn't come up with good puns. He's very
That's
slow.
why he's quiet.
So he would he kills him. He like fucking
Stabs him like 8 times and then folds the
and
bed.
then he folds him, and I'm just like, oh my god. And
You know what was more intriguing about that? I don't think that mattress was meant to fold like that.
No.
So Jason just fucking destroyed this whole bed just to destroy Trey.
He's a strong man, and Trey bled quite a bit because it starts seeping through the fucking bathroom door.
Yeah, and they didn't waste any time getting to nudity either, because you get an overhead shot of what's her name in the fucking shower.
Well, the first fucking scene's got nudity in it.
Oh yeah, that too, with the stupid bitch that goes
there's-
jumping in the water.
There's that part where
That scene was really stupid.
Yeah, of course it was. It's from a slasher movie. Of course it's stupid. There was that cool little bit though where Jason stabs her against the tree and she like morphs into different people that he's killed.
Yeah.
It would have been neat if you had gotten like cameos from old actors, but yeah, it's fine. I understand what they were going for, and it worked. I thought that was pretty neat. That idea that like every murder stays with him. I think that's a cool concept.
Or like when he opens the closet and all the bodies are floating.
All the bodies are floating, yeah. It's just like, add another one. I think that's pretty neat. But yeah, so Jason kills him, and then they call the cops, and
Well, after a very poorly executed scream from that girl.
hey, you know what? That's okay. She drinks and smokes, and she was gonna stop smoking, but then now she only smokes when she drinks, but now she drinks all the time.
Yeah.
What a weird character. Also, I think it's funny that Trey was like, I told you not to kiss me when you've been smoking, and I'm like, you are gay. Like I don't like, dude, a hot girl smoking. Give me all of that. I don't fucking care. Like, what the fuck? God, you deserve to die for that shit. And he did. He died a very painful death.
I like how she said, but they're menthols.
Yeah, like that's gonna fucking. But they're menthol. Cool. Sign me up. Fuck Trey though. I don't know. Like what the fuck. But yeah, so he's vibing. He's dead. He's vibing. But yeah, she screams and they call the cops.
They run out.
And then like
a cop just happens to be pulling over to the street.
Hey man,
do y'all need assistance?
It's a white neighborhood. Of course they were there. So they probably had private security. It's like fucking River Oaks in Houston. But no.
Yeah.
What was it? His best friend was there with him.
Yeah, Blake.
And he was
Trey and Blake.
Oh God, what an unfortunate name. So he's like, they try to blame it on him, right? Something like that, or like that's like a rumor that happens
after Blake dies. That's when they try to blame him because of a rumor.
Yeah, because Blake gets killed.
No, then Blake's like reenacting as best he can the scene from Predator with Mac telling Blaine he's gonna get the Predator because he killed him.
Oh, see, to me, when his dad comes out, it felt very much like she's not my mother, Todd from fucking Terminator 2. That's all I could think of. I'm just like, oh my God, he's just Edward Furlong because he's just yelling at him like, oh, I need some fucking space, Dad. And I'm just like, I get it, kid. I get it. So then, his dad fucks off, and then he starts dreaming.
He immediately fell asleep.
Yeah,
after that interaction.
Sometimes you yell at your dad, and you just got to take a nap. So he goes to sleep. He goes to sleep and then has like a mini nightmare of Freddy, who's like, oh, now because like after Jason kills what's his fuck.
The cops
the cops are like, oh, this is just him. Like Freddy. Don't even say his name, and it's just like okay. So, and then Laurie remembers the name Freddy Krueger while she's being interrogated or whatever. So then that gives Freddy enough power to be like, oh, fuck, somebody knows I'm here. So then, he tries to kill Blake, but he is not powerful enough yet. And then he's like, I'm going to let Jason keep working. And then Jason just fucking shows up out of nowhere. He's already decapitated his father. And then he kills Blake.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, oh, Blake fucking killed himself because
he killed Trey.
He killed Trey. Meanwhile, while this is all going on, Laurie's what I thought was Laurie's brother until I realized, oh, wait, no. That's not her brother.
They mentioned that Will is not a brother when they first talk about him.
Listen, brother, I wasn't really paying attention to that first part. I was just like, all right, I know Jason's here somewhere. When's he going to pop up? They're like, damn, Will is at a institution, like a mental institution,
Weston Hills,
because he allegedly saw Laurie's dad allegedly kill Laurie's mom, and he's like, and he was trying to say something about it, and his dad was like, "Fuck you. I'm going to put you in the crazy house." So then he goes over there with this other dude.
Mark.
I'm glad you remember all these names. He goes in there with this other dude who keeps having nightmares, and he like knows who Freddy is already.
Because his brother got killed by Freddy.
Because he grew up in Springwood, or whatever. It's Springwood, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was making sure, because I always get Woodsboro and Springwood mixed up. So, because they both have wood in the title. He's like, yeah, it's fucking Freddy Krueger, whatever. So then they end up escaping.
Yeah, but before that, they introduced the hypnosil shit, which comes into play later.
Yeah, it's to put you to sleep.
To repress your dreams.
And put you to sleep.
Yeah.
So
bad that it sent a bunch of them into a coma.
Which, that's just medical intervention 101, baby. But so they get away, and then they go and find them at a school.
And then fucking Kia's being a fucking asshole to this nerdy dude that loves Lori.
Yeah, a nerdy dude that plays a nerdy dude that I recognized immediately. I also recognized Will, and it took me too long to realize that was Jason Ritter. But Lederman, right? Lederman? Is it Lederman or Lieberman?
I just fucking sent Linderman.
Linderman. He looks like a little dork boy. And I recognized him right away, and I was like, where the fuck have I seen him? And it's because I've watched Barry like 3 times, and he's I guess just quick spoilers for Barry. In the first season, I think, he's like an old army buddy of Barry Berkman's, and like Barry tries to reconnect with him or something for a little bit. He tries to reconnect with like his buddies in general. I think because he's trying to find like people that I think he's trying to find another hitman for Fuchs at this point, so that way he can pursue being an actor, because that's what he wants to be. And he was all like, so he reconnects with his friends, and then this guy is one of those friends, and Barry fucking kills him because he mentions going to the cops, and Barry, being a professional hitman, is very torn up about having to kill him, and boy, does he kill him. So I was like, I fucking know that guy. I looked it up, and I was like, yeah, that's right. He's that guy from Barry. Good show. I would watch Barry. It gets weird, which I appreciate. But yeah, it's a good show, and he's in that show. But yeah, he's playing just a little nerdy kid who's in love with Lori, and then he kind of likes Kia. And in the deleted scenes, it's expanded upon, because there's a part where they just basically tell each other that, like, the reason they talk shit to each other is because they like each other. The classic Hey Arnold shit. So.
Well, no, Helga's just weird.
Well, yeah. Well, she said
Arnold's oblivious to the whole thing.
Well, I mean, Helga straight up says she's weird. She's just weird. I can't remember the direct quote.
She built a fucking
the
statue
shrine,
of him
the
out
shrine,
of gum.
Right? The fucking like Arnold shrine. God, what a that's a quirked up white girl right there.
I mean, look at her parents. It's understandable. Her mom's a drunk, and her dad's a greedy asshole that only loves her sister.
That happens. That's how it goes, baby. New York City, hell yeah, let's go. That's how it goes. But yeah, so they're she's being an asshole to what's his name? Linderman. To Linderman. And he's just like, oh, I love you, Lori. And then Mark gets introduced to Lori in like the creepiest way possible, because she's talking about how
her nightmare,
which is where she sees the little girl that Freddy kills at the beginning of the movie with her eyes gouged out,
and then she sees the jump roping girls,
and they're singing Freddy's song, obviously.
Fucking Mark explains what it is.
Yeah, because Mark just comes out of the fucking crowd of people, and he's just like, oh, that means Freddy is coming for you. Oh. And then she's just like, "What? Who the fuck are you?" like honestly, if it was me, I'd be like, "Who are you? Where did you come from?"
But I must also point out that in this scene, they were also trying to get Lori to go to a party, and she specifically said no. But then later, you see her there.
So, a couple things. Bob Shea was supposed to have a cameo as I think the principal who was trying to stop Will and Mark. And then yeah, she says I don't want to go to the party. And then there's also another deleted scene where they're like very happily going to the party. And Ronnie Yu in the commentary was just like, yeah, he's like, they were just too happy. He's like, I didn't like, it just felt weird going from them like having two people close to them die and then just being excited as if nothing went wrong. And I'm like, yeah, that's fair. That's a fair reason to cut a scene. But yeah, so then they go to a party in like a fucking cornfield.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity to play corn. They did not do
Cornfield
that.
Party. It was a rave. That's why they didn't play.
They
corn.
could have fucking played corn at a rave. Are you kidding me? You go to any rave now, I'm guarantee you're gonna hear a corn mashup with fucking Hadaway or some shit. It's gonna be What Is Love mixed with Coming Undone or some shit.
Oh my God.
I listen. I'm not joking. Like that's probably a thing. You can look it up.
It probably is.
But you know, they go to that rave and they're vibing. They're having a grand old time. What's her name? Girl that drinks and smokes is drinking and smoking, of course.
And then Freebird is making fun of Trey's death right in front of her.
Yeah, what a name. What a name.
He's just a J wannabe.
Is it Freebird?
I think that's what they kept calling
I thought
him.
it was Reverb. At first I thought it was Reefer, and I'm like, okay, that's a stupid on-the-nose name. Then I thought it was Reverb.
I kept hearing Freebird. So I
Well,
don't know.
whatever. Let's just call him Freebird. Fuck it, I don't care. So, yeah, they he's like talking shit. And then Will reconnects with Lori, much to Linderman's dismay. But then Kia's like, "Hey, come on, dance with me."
Yeah, because Lori's like, we're picking right up where we left off at 14.
And then yeah, some shit happens. Jason shows up and
He fucking.
well, okay. So what happens is
Yeah.
girl who drinks and smokes is what I'm gonna just call her, I guess.
Yeah, she passes out and has a nightmare about Freddy.
And Freddy's just like, "Hey, bitch,
Time to play.
I got you." So the thing about this scene is initially they were gonna have, because like she sees like her boyfriend all twisted up in the cornfield,
Oh, yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, fucking come on, I ain't gonna say it again." And then she's like, no." And then she follows him, and initially they were gonna have like a scene where he like tries to walk towards her in like the boiler room, but he like keeps like bending backwards. But they were like, the CG just couldn't cut it, and I'm like, y'all could have done that practically though. Like, like if Stuart Gordon could do what he fucking did in From Beyond and Reanimator, I'm pretty sure you could have done that practically. It probably would have been very expensive to make that animatronic though.
Yeah.
So you know, I guess despite CGI being cheaper, it was still too expensive. But anyway, she sees Freddy in the actual movie, and you get another nice dolly zoom shot, which I love those so much. Keep doing them. So Freddy starts fucking with her, and just as he's about to kill her, she fucking gets speared by Jason, because while she's knocked out, some fucking
Piece of shit.
with
Glow
blonde
stick
highlights,
motherfucker.
blonde spiky hair, tries to rape her basically.
So Jason saved her.
So Jason's like, "Hey, look, when I say no sex, I mean it." So then he just fucking impales both of them. And then Freddy's like, "That one was mine." And he's like so upset about it. So funny. And then Jason just decides to keep on trucking after that. He comes across like two fucking drunk kids.
This Everclear is kicking my ass.
And then he turns one of their heads completely around.
Yeah, because he called him a corn poke.
Yeah, and then the other guy throws the liquor on him, and then lights him on fire, and he's like, "Yeah, burn, motherfucker!" And then Jason's like, "Brother, this ain't doing nothing. I'm gonna be honest with you."
He just starts singing that song that goes like, "The fucking roof is on fire."
Yeah, that one.
That's all he thought about the entire
Yeah,
scene.
that one. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Anyway, so then he starts chasing this guy.
No, he's not chasing him. He's having a nice stroll.
He's having a nice stroll. That's a good way to put it. You get that cool shot of the fucking cornfield, the overhead shot, and then he throws the machete at him as if he's Kratos throwing the blades of chaos.
I mean,
And it just impales him, and he dies. And then Jason walks up, goes on a little mini killing spree, in the cornfield.
I like when he slashes at the beer keg and it clearly doesn't hit that guy, but then he's dead.
But then the blood shoots out of him, and then it douses the fire, and then he just kills a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And
Jason's got a lot of pent up anger.
and then I'm trying to remember where it goes from here.
That's
Because I know I remember what happens, but I'm trying to remember. That's the connective tissue that's escaping me.
Will drops off Kia, then goes to Lori's house, and her dad sees him.
Oh yeah, and her
fucking
dad
strangles Will, and
and
it's
her
like,
dad's like, "You piece of shit! You stay away from my daughter."
Lori
then-
gives off some poorly acted screams.
Hey man, it happens.
It's like they were trying to make her smart and stupid at the same time. They like wanted her to be the main girl and also the dumb hot girl.
Yeah, well, you can't win them all.
I mean, just her line delivery of, "Oh, wait a minute, Freddy died by fire, Jason by water. How can we use that?" They never use it.
No.
Like,
no,
why
they
did you
don't.
even say that?
I feel like that was just to set up when Freddy and Jason actually fought, and then Jason's scared of that little mini waterfall.
Which is also stupid because Jason swims in every single
I
fucking
was gonna
movie.
say, yeah, that's what I thought when I saw it. I was just like, but Jason Takes Manhattan exists, and he fucking swam for most of that movie. So I don't know. But yeah, so
They just needed a way for Freddy to have the upper hand for a second.
yeah, you know how it is. So, oh, let me think. So, yeah, Lori's dad shows up and he's like, "Fuck you," and then they fight a little bit, and then I think Lori's dad is like, "Here, just take some pills. I didn't kill your mom. Just take some pills.
Yeah.
I promise I didn't kill your mom, please." And then she runs away. And then I don't remember exactly what happened.
Will finds her again. They go fucking meet up with the stoner Freebird. For some reason, he's important now.
Oh yeah, and then they
And
have
then they have their little meeting, and that fucking rookie cop is like, "Hey, I'm new here. I don't know what's going on, but I've been digging, and I think this
that's
is
right.
a Jason copycat." And then he's like, "Nah, I've seen what he does. He's the real Jason." Like, how do you know that?
and who says that? Linderman, right?
Yeah, Linderman said that. How do you know what
Is-
the real Jason is?
Is Mark already dead at this point?
No, I think after they have their little meeting, that's when Will and Lori go to see
That's
Mark.
when they're like, Mark would know about, because like they were like, they said we have to figure out a way to like to get like Freddy to fight Jason or whatever, or to bring Freddy in. I don't know. Remember?
Well, first their idea is to fucking get the pills and shit. Oh yeah, because Lori falls asleep at the meeting. Typical. And then
Typical Lori behavior. Yeah.
and then she fucking yanks Freddy's ear off and it becomes maggots.
Oh yeah, just like
That's-
it's the age old like Nancy thing where Nancy pulls out his hat, right, in the first movie,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Oh, we can do that? I didn't know that." So
So then they want to go get the fucking hypnosil so she can fall asleep and try to bring Freddy to the real world.
yeah,
And then we get introduced to the fucking amazing character Freddy Slug.
he's like a caterpillar,
Yeah, caterpillar.
and he's weird.
He's got a bong.
What a weird fucking thing to be.
So is the logic of that scene that Freebird fell asleep because he got too high? Or is he just high enough that Freddy can enter his subconscious because it's like he's asleep? Like...
Listen, man, you're asking me to think too much about this movie.
I just couldn't help but think about it.
These questions were never meant to be asked. So yeah, that's
So
cool.
yeah, so Freddy Caterpillar jumps down Freebird's throat and possesses him, so he can put all the tranquilizer into Jason.
Yeah. So he gets rid of all the pills. First of all, the suppressed dreams pills, which is what they were gonna use.
To just, I guess, forget.
Yeah, and that's where they come across everybody that's in a coma. So while that's all happening, Jason shows up immediately kills Stubbs, which is the deputy. Like because he tries to like fucking run away as Jason's getting electrocuted, and then like he grabs Jason and starts getting electrocuted. I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you go anywhere near a man that is being electrocuted and then touch him, you idiot? What the fuck?
He wasn't smart.
He wasn't.
He played a character in the first Scary Movie.
Oh yeah, well, you know, that's what happened. But yeah, so then he gets he gets electrocuted to death.
Well, first when Jason got to the fucking psychiatric hospital, he bashed the door in, and I guess like you remember the scene in Lord of the Rings where the horses knock down the gate and crush that dude.
Yeah, that's what happens to that fucking security guard.
Somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking Jason's launching people in this movie. Like at the cornfield thing, he fucking punches a dude and he like flies.
Hey man, that's what I like to see though. I don't know. I just think it's fun. I don't know. But yeah, Jason Linderman screams like a little girl. Tries to, I guess he tries to shoot him, but the safety's on. I guess is what happens there.
He's a rookie cop.
So then they run away. They see Freebird, and Freebird's like, "Nah, let me handle this, bitch." And then Freddy, as Freebird stabs Jason,
tranquilizer.
Jason cuts Freebird in half.
Yeah.
Before collapsing, and then we get Freddy versus Jason, where
in the dream
world. So what ends up happening is they fight a little bit, and Freddy just really lays it down because
he
he's his domain.
Fucking pinballs him.
Yeah, he pinballs him a bit. He fucking
tilt.
Yeah, he says, "Ooh, tilt," and I'm just like, "All right, back to this, huh?" so then, he
it does the fucking. We forgot about the part in the school after Lori calms down in the nurse's office and Kia's waiting or whatever, and she falls asleep reading the magazine.
Oh,
Freddy's got your nose.
Yeah, Freddy does the got your nose and
because fucking Kia or whatever has been like asking if she should get a nose job, and I'm like,
I think she looks fine.
Just deal with your nose.
I think she looks
get over it.
I think she looks good.
Spend the money on something worth it.
I think she looks good.
She looks fine. I don't know.
I think she looks fine. So, I'm just gonna say that.
Dream Freddy rips her nose off, but I mean, again, Freddy logic implies what he does in the dream happens in real life. So why? I guess because he's not powerful enough yet.
Maybe she just couldn't smell anymore. Maybe that's what happened.
Yeah,
maybe
he just erased her smell.
Yeah, maybe she just got COVID. So what ends up happening is Freddy beats the shit out of Jason in the dream world. Jason gets scared of a little bit of water, and then Freddy's like, "Oh."
So something does scare you.
And then Jason turns into a little baby boy, getting scared.
And then Freddy punctures his head.
And that's when we get that scene of Jason dragging the body into that cabin and throwing it into the... I guess it's Jason's mind place, pretty much.
Yeah.
Throws the body in there and...
Yeah, because Freddy's like, can't wait to see what skeletons you have in your closet.
So while Jason's asleep, they keep tranking him so he stays asleep.
So they can tranquilize Lori so she can fall asleep and go get Freddy and bring him out.
So they do that. They tranquilize Lori, and then Jason starts convulsing because Freddy starts... So while Lori's in the dream world, she's at Camp Crystal Lake. Everybody's making fun of Jason, and he, Lori goes up to some camp counselor just fucking in the open air.
Do anything?
Yeah, and then he's just like, "It's not my fault. This bitch is dead on her feet." And I'm like, "All right, Freddy."
Freddy fucking a corpse.
I'll let you have that one.
I'd never seen that until yesterday.
I'll let it fly, white boy. So then,
like I told you earlier, I had only seen this movie on TV up until this point.
Yeah, they definitely would have cut that. So then, Jason starts drowning. She tries to help Jason. Freddy comes up and starts drowning him.
And it's like she knows it's Jason, but when Jason pops out of the water, she lets go of him and is like, "Oh my God, Jason Voorhees!" Like, who the fuck did you think it was?
Maybe she didn't know he was that ugly. Maybe that's what it was.
I guess.
But yeah, and then what happens is Jason starts convulsing. Kia's about to give him mouth to mouth, much to her chagrin, and then. He wakes up like right as that happens, and then Freddy fucking just and then
he rises out of the water, which was
like fucking Kratos, like Jesus Christ.
They did that practically, at least.
Yeah, it was a stuntman, obviously, but yeah, they did.
Yeah, it was Goblin Freddy.
And he is. He does look like Goblin Freddy. He's got he looks a little more mad, and then he ends up. Laurie's like, wake me up, but then
And she teleports to the house.
Which is Nancy's house, I guess.
That she lives in now.
No, but that's the thing is like she always lived there, and I was like, is that the Thompson house? Like I couldn't, but the door was different. So they initially had a scene that was deleted where she realizes it's the Thompson house by scraping the paint off. The problem is that there's no window on the door like there is in the first movie. So they would have replaced that door with just a regular red door, and that would have been enough to tell Laurie, oh, fuck, I guess they like red doors at this house. So they cut that scene, thankfully, because it wouldn't have made fucking sense. So instead, the idea was just, they just changed the door. Fuck it, whatever. They changed it a little bit. It looks different in general, but and the inside of the house doesn't look the same either. But whatever. I mean, it kind of does. It has that staircase where it is in the original movie. But whatever. And then she finds out that Freddy actually killed her mom, and Freddy's like,
because he's always had a thing for the horrors that live in this house.
And that's a direct quote. And then he's about to kill Laurie.
No, he's playing with Laurie. He cuts her boobs, and then he's like, the first time's a little rough or something.
Yeah, and then he
starts sticking his claw.
Like it's as if it's 7. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That's a rough part. Ooh, baby, that's a rough part of the movie. You don't even. That's the fucked up part is you don't even fucking see anything. You just hear what happened, and it's just like Jesus Christ, that's rough. Hey George, you okay, buddy? Don't throw up. Come on, don't throw up. Don't throw up, cats. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so as if it's 7, and then that's when she's like
finally wakes up because Jason's chasing everyone because they made it to Crystal Lake. They managed to walk there, and
after the truck crashed, obviously the van, whatever.
And Jason busts in and gets a box stuck on his foot, and then the whole place gets set on fire. He fucking punches Linderman into a fucking what the fuck was that? A fucking shelf anchor that looked like
and it stabs him.
It stabs him. He goes out like the fucking dumbass in Supernatural. What a stupid death. That entire show, and that's how he dies.
Oh, yep, this is the one.
Officially, that's how he dies.
So yeah.
Oh, sorry if you haven't seen that.
It's okay. It deserves to be spoiled because it's stupid. But anyway, what happens is, that's what happens to him. And then Laurie's hand gets burnt, and that's enough to wake her up.
Yeah, Will drops it in the fire. He's like, oh, shit.
He's like, whoops. Then
sorry, Laurie.
Bursts into fucking flames. And then she wakes up and pulls Freddy out. Freddy realizes he's in the real world.
You get fucking metal music in the background starting.
And then they start fighting. That gives them enough time to escape. Kia helps Linderman to a tree. And then she's like, I'll be back. And Linderman's just like, no, go. It's like he's fucking K from Blade Runner 2049. Just go. You'll be fine.
He had enough energy to hold that sentence.
And then he dies.
Like the fucking dude in Terminator 2.
And then he died. Yeah. I don't know how much longer I can hold this. And then he just...
The scene went on for too long.
And then Hank from Breaking Bad is like, get the fuck out! I'm not even joking. That is Hank from Breaking Bad. I'm not joking. So that he... And then he blows it up. R.I.P. Miles Dyson.
Yep.
You were a good man that didn't know what you were doing.
And then your son made Genesis.
Oh God, I forgot about that. Oh my God, you're making me remember a movie that I haven't thought of in fucking 10 years.
I watched Genesis last week, I think.
I'm sorry.
I don't hate that movie, but
it's just weird.
It's weird and dumb.
It's because they were like, hey, let's just do a fan service movie,
They
but like
retconned every other movie because they sent Terminator back earlier to when Sarah was 7, because
The only part of that movie that I remember is when she says Kyle Reese, or when Terminator says Kyle Reese, protect my Sarah. But the way he said it made it sound like he said calories, protect my Sarah. And that's so fucking, part of me in the theater, I was like, oh, that's sweet. And then the other part of me was like, that's fucking hilarious because he said calories. There's no way he said Kyle Reese. But, and then that movie sets up that he's a liquid metal Terminator, and then they do nothing with that because they retconned it again.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? You gave him like the coolest thing you could do, and then
because they scrapped it again for Dark Fate, which I think Dark Fate, for the record, is a better movie. Also, it has Mackenzie Davis, and I love Mackenzie Davis.
It's an alright movie.
So, I think it's a better movie, but the reason it's a better movie is because it's just Terminator 2 all over again. Like, it's literally just Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it is. And I'm just like, okay, I guess if they're going to copy any movie, it would be the best one.
What are you talking about? 3 is the best
and
one.
We've got nothing since. So, it's okay. Yeah. It really should have ended with that second one. Because the second one, I like the ambiguous ending more than the original ending where Sarah Connor's in old person makeup and it looks really bad. I like that. I like the ambiguous ending of, we don't know what lies ahead, but, there's no fate but what we make for ourselves.
3 is just like, Judgment Day happens.
3 is just like, oh yeah, she's fucking dead, dude. Like, she died. Like she's not here anymore.
And John and the veterinarian are gonna be the saviors of the world.
Yeah, and then Terminator Salvation happened, and then Terminator Genesis happened, and then Terminator Dark Fate happened. I don't remember a fucking thing about Salvation.
Yeah, I don't remember that one at all.
The only thing I remember is CG Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's it. That's literally it. Yeah, what a great franchise. It's truly the Weezer of science fiction franchises, where that first one...
Hey, but at least some of the games were fun.
That first one is considered by many to be the best. And then the second one, in Weezer's case, if you're I don't know, if you're an incel, then the second album's your favorite. In Terminator's case, it's just the better movie. And then everything after that just isn't that good, with some notable exceptions. You got your Pork and Beans, you got your Can't Knock the Hustle, but that's it. There's no entire album that's still good. That's just like, oh, this is just as classic as the first two.
Yeah.
Nope.
And we didn't need Weezer to do a cover of Africa.
Well, you know what? We got it. We also didn't need Weezer to do a cover of Billie Jean. But you know what? We got it. That. We also didn't need Weezer to do a cover of Take On Me, but boy, did they do it.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Yeah, look, thank God for Weezer, right?
The only cover album I've enjoyed was Ghost.
Of which one?
The last album they released was a cover album.
Did they do Take On Me?
No.
Oh. But you're saying if Ghost did it.
If they did it, it'd probably sound better.
Yeah, Tobias has a pretty good voice for it. I think he could have done it.
He's about to, he's going to get ready to usher in his new character for the new album.
Oh, boy. Can't wait. But
awesome.
Yeah, so... Enough about Terminator. That was our certified sidetrack segment for the episode, I guess.
Yep.
I'm sure there'll be another one.
Maybe.
But yeah, so he dies.
Who died? I forgot where we were.
Linderman.
Yeah, Linderman.
And Kia runs off to find Laurie and Will trying to get away. Freddy, having incapacitated Jason momentarily, is about to kill Laurie and Will, and then Kia starts talking shit. And Freddy decides not to go after Laurie and Will so he can be racist for a second, because he says, and I quote, dark meat. And I'm like, you motherfucker. you motherfucker. Like, that's, I'll let it fly. I'll let it fly, white boy, but you motherfucker. So then, she calls him a faggot because he's wearing a Christmas sweater or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, this is just like...
And then it says his knives are a representation of how long his dick is or something. And
yeah, because
Freddy...
Because Jason's packing that machete.
Yeah.
And you got these little butter knives. And then Freddy's just like, oh, like he's a fucking Looney Tunes character. Like he's Bugs Bunny pointing to Daffy about fucking Elmer Fudd. Jason's behind her and just fucking launches her.
Launches Kia. And then she spazzes out on a tree before sliding down.
Yeah.
Like,
well.
Why?
Well. That engine ain't starting again. Hey, so anyway.
Then we get the final showdown.
it's the final showdown where Will and Laurie are like, hey, we gotta let them
It's
kill
time
each
to
other.
use fire. We already used water.
So they fight for a little bit, Jason and Freddy, and then Freddy gets scared of the fire a little bit, but not really. But they fight for a while. They end up getting blown into the water because...
Well, Freddy cuts off Jason's fingers.
Okay,
and
so
then
but before that, they have that fight at like what looks like just a construction site.
Yeah, on a completed campground.
And Jason gets fucked up, and then you think, okay, well, Freddy's got the upper hand. He cuts his fingers off. He's beating the fuck out of him, and then they both blow up because
No, Jason first punches his fingerless hand into Freddy's side, ripping at his insides, and then fucking Freddy has his machete and stabs Jason with it, and then Jason fucking rips off Freddy's arm.
yeah,
And then they explode. Like,
because they blow up because Laurie starts the fire.
I appreciate how much they did not hold back between those two fighting.
I mean, well, yeah, you got to deliver on the premise.
They destroyed each other.
So it explodes because it hits a tanker or whatever, and then it sends them flying into the water. Then Laurie and Will are kind of incapacitated for a second by the explosion, and then you hear boots, and you see a machete, and you think, oh, fuck, it's Jason.
Awesome.
And I was thinking, if it's Jason and we get a moment where he looks at Laurie and then nods at her because she tried to save him in his dream, I'm going to turn this movie off. But that's not what happens because it's Freddy.
Can you imagine?
That would be...
They just pull an AVP ending.
just a fucking... He fucking marks her with like some fucking symbol.
The V.
The V for Voorhees. He gives her little red triangles under her eyes. God damn it, that would have been so stupid. And then he just goes into the water like he's fucking Godzilla. Like, come on, man. But it's Freddy, and Freddy's about to kill her. And then Jason shows up and impales Freddy with his own arm.
Yep.
And then they both collapse into the water.
Jason drops the machete, and then Laurie's like, "Welcome to my world, bitch."
Yeah, and then she cuts Freddy's head off. And
Jason sinks down to the water. His eyes were open, so Laurie's like, "Here's your machete." Even though Freddy stabbed Jason in both his eyes.
a real do your thing, cuz moment right there. Here's your machete. So
Don't remind me of that.
So then they both sink. And then after that, I think Will and Laurie just kind of leave. And and then it cuts to like
the morning after
a very foggy morning at Camp Crystal Lake, and Jason arises because he has to be around for Jason X. Jason arises and starts walking with Freddy's head, and Freddy's head winks at the camera and laughs. And that's Freddy versus Jason. You want to know what the original ending was, and then what the original planned ending was? Okay, so here we go. First of all, they cut out all the romance shit between Will and Laurie because they said that at the test screening, the audience literally booed when they kissed each other. Because they just didn't fucking care. Because Laurie and Will don't really have good chemistry.
I mean, yeah, it would have just felt so fucking forced if they left that in there.
Yeah. So then, the original ending that was filmed was Will and Laurie are messing around on the bed, and they get ready to have sex or whatever, and then Will gets on top of Laurie, and he's like starts hurting her or whatever, and then she's like, "What do you do? What the fuck is wrong with you?" And then Freddy's knives grow out of Will's hand, and then he slashes at her, and that's the end. And that was supposed to be the original end. Test screen audience fucking hated it. And then they were just like, all right, well, we're not doing that. Let's just do this other ending that ties into Jason X better. And then after that, the initial ending was that there was supposed to be like a cataclysmic event that literally happened because of Freddy and Jason fighting. So the idea was that a literal hand from hell would have come up from the ground and swallowed them both, and then they would have been in hell together. and they would have been in an arena surrounded by demons, and the idea would be that they're forever supposed to fight each other in hell.
And that could have led to the Terror Drome movie.
For the amusement of the demons. What's funny is that would also kind of work for Jason X.
Yeah.
Because Jason X starts in what looks like hell. So that could still kind of work. But they did not have the budget for that. Like, they were like, there's no fucking way we're going to have the budget to do this. And I'm fine. I'm happy with the ending we got already.
Yeah.
Freddy dying in this one is way better than in any fucking other movie that he's died in. Because he gets ripped apart. And it's really cool to see. Really cool. Robert Englund, of course, is always great as Freddy. Again, I just wish it had been Kane Hodder. But, can't win them all. Kane Hodder was too busy sipping mimosas or some shit, whatever he does. He was vibing,
Yeah.
Good movie. Good movie. Solid movie. You know what time it is, though.
Oh,
You know what time it is.
it's that time.
You know what time it is. It's time for review. So
Awesome.
First off, on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a 41% with an average rating of 5 out of 10. Like, just straight up 5. That's pretty funny. The website's consensus reads, fans of the two horror franchises will enjoy this showdown, but for everyone else, it's the same old slice and dice. Okay. 37 out of 100 on Metacritic. On CinemaScore, audiences gave it a B+. I think that's pretty fair as far as that goes. Kim Newman of Empire gave the film 3 stars out of 5, writing FVJ ignores any attempts at cleverness and picks up storylines dropped in Freddy's Dead and Jason Goes to Hell. And then Sacha Moller, whatever, of the Sydney Morning Herald wrote, this is a solid effort with enough frights, humor, blood, surprises, and killer dialogue to entertain consistently. I don't know about the killer dialogue, but Robert K. Elder of the Chicago Tribune gave the film 2.5 out of 4, stating that it succeeds as a guilty pleasure, a monster mash that clobbers the recent lackluster sequels plaguing both legacies. Hold up, brother. Jason X was not lackluster, all right? In an interview with Entertainment Weekly in 2023, Robert Englund said he was proud of Freddy vs. Jason. It took the genius of Ronnie Yu. I'm really proud of that film. It's really fun to see on a nice big flat screen with sound tuned up and some cold pizza. That's such a him thing to say. Jesus Christ. So yeah, good. So it's pretty good. That's the consensus, is that it's pretty good. Thank God, because I liked it. So now we do the best part, which is we look at IMDb reviews. Ooh, Freddy versus Jason. Ooh, yeah. So Jason was played by Ken Kersinger, who I think did stunt work in one of the earlier movies, if I remember right. Could be wrong. Yeah, that the woman who drinks and smokes, her name was Gib. What a good name. Gib. Like, sounds like a fucking Invader Zim character.
Yeah.
What a name. Anyway, so all right. So this has a 5.7 out of 10 on IMDb. More 10-star ratings than 1-star ratings. That's always good to see. But let's see. Let's see what we got. An insult to both. I'm not reading all that, brother, but an insult to both franchises. I don't know about that.
What? Insult to both.
10 years later, and all we get is a script that was written only in 10 minutes. Man, people really did not like this movie when it came out. Oh my God. Crap. Oh boy, this movie is total crap. They try to connect two legendary horror icons, put a lot of CGI in it, stupid teenagers, a girl with obvious fake boobies, and made such a mess where you practically badly want that annoying character die in next scene.
I assume he's talking about Laurie's boobs.
I don't know. Instead of be afraid for her destiny. Not to mention tons of totally non-scary boo scenes that are simply too lame to be shocking. Bro, jump scares are in every single one of those movies. Are you kidding me? Jump scares are in every Friday the 13th especially. Fuck off. Story is silly. Acting is even worse. Stupid dialogues and lines that Freddy speaks, occasionally even in camera toward viewer. Yeah, that's his... Have you never seen a Nightmare on Elm Street? What are you talking about? All this looks so ridiculous, in spite pretty large amount of explicit gore, mostly CGI. Well, not all of it. And occasionally cartoonish like old samurai and kung fu movies, which is inappropriate for horror. Okay, this is not horror and Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street style, but more likely in teen horror style, which is degradation of these two horror legends. Sad. Well, this isn't a post-Scream world, but it does not feel like that to me. That's weird, brother. That's weird. Freddy versus Jason, or why horror movies have a bad name.
What?
These were all written in, like, when it came out, by the way. This dude wrote this one before the second anniversary of 9/11. So, the day before. You would think that a movie in planning for 10 plus years would be tremendously better than this film is, but no. New Line win and put another nail in the horror genre's coffin, no pun intended. This film not only bastardizes both series, but horror in general. The director, Ronnie Yu, apparently has no concept of directing and seemingly has no knowledge of these two franchises. He didn't, though. Like, in the special features, he was talking about how, like, he would see them on TV, but, like, that was it. The story goes from completely unoriginal to absolutely hokey. Acting is the worst in any film I have ever seen. Okay.
No.
That's a bit of a stretch, brother. Non-professional included. What do you mean non-professional? What non-professional movies are you watching? What is a non-professional movie to you? Hold on, I'm hung up on this.
Fucking basement porn.
Is he talking about porn? Yeah, like, why does porn always come up in these fucking movie reviews? One scene that is truly appalling is when Jason goes on an ultra-psycho rampage and begins slaughtering unobtrusive teenagers right and left.
What has he done for his entire existence?
What? Okay.
What a genius.
Okay. I know this is a horror film, but it's totally disturbing and there is no reason for it. That's the point.
What do you mean there's no reason for it?
That's the point, is that some dude is killing you for no fucking reason. That's the point. This man would hate martyrs. Anyways, so I suppose the producers felt the only way to save the film was to pour onto the audience a never-ending flood of blood and gore. And boy, does it keep coming and coming and coming. After it's all said and done, this film is the worst of the worst to be released in a long, long time. And if you must see this film like I did, by all means, go to a matinee. Man, in 2003, that was like $2. That's pretty good. Can I see what this... No, I can't. What kind of horror movies do you like, then? Don't know what anyone saw in it. Absolutely awful is about the extent of what I can say about this movie. I've never been a strong Friday the 13th fan, but have been a Nightmare on Elm Street fan. I am also a horror slasher movie fan, even of the really B-grade productions with limited special effects. Okay? I simply enjoy the suspense, the camaraderie among characters usually set up before any horrors occur, and many other typical attributes of the movie genre. However, this piece was totally lacking in everything. Brother, I don't know what slashers you're watching, but outside of, like, Halloween, not a lot of them have good camaraderie between the characters.
Yeah.
I bet this person thinks The Thing is a slasher movie, which it absolutely is not. But, you know, whatever.
No, he probably thinks Alien is the best horror movie.
I mean, it is really good, but, you know. Yeah.
But I call Alien a science fiction movie.
Well, it's science fiction horror, yeah. It can be both. There's room enough for it to be both.
So does that mean we gotta watch it?
Eventually. Well, I mean, yeah, we're going to do AVP.
Oh, yeah,
Eventually. Eventually.
Eventually.
Like fucking 2 years from now. The image and production quality appeared poor. It did look a little cheap. I'll give it that. There were some scenes where I was like, that looks a little cheap.
I was like, no wonder I've seen this on TV constantly.
Sets looked simple. The scenes dark and not well lit or defined. Well, that's, I don't know. There was no characterization period, no build up to characters or their connections or ability to care for them as characters. The villains in Jason and Freddy are not explained well at all. Given most people interested in this movie would be fans of the series, however, this could be a reasonable means to work a history of the villains and their horrors into the weave of the story. They kind of did. The concepts of how they both come to terrorize the community in the story, why and how and why Freddy and Jason become embroiled in a grudge match is not clear other. A dog that you watch believing it has to get better because the original movies with these characters were excellent, but it never did get better. First of all, do you want it spoon-fed to you?
I mean,
like,
Freddy basically explains it all in the first 5 minutes.
Like, I don't... That's interesting. It's interesting that you watched this movie and felt that it didn't...
And then the fight between them is because Freddy's trying to get in the way of Jason's fucking killing.
Was him screaming, "She was mine," not subtle enough for you? Like that's... Like, what? Okay. This was a pathetic display of special effects in lieu of plot. Welcome to slashers, brother.
I mean,
this movie.
Also, when Freddy is fucking Jason's mom for the first bit of
Well, not fucking Jason's mom, but he is Jason's mom.
Fucking when he's turned into Jason's mom at the beginning of Jason's dream, how he says that you're just like a stupid ass dog that doesn't know when to stop eating or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, when he's in the dream world. Yeah. Anyway, this movie had so little plot that it is unbelievable that it even made it to theaters. Bro, romantic comedies make it to theaters. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
The movie was the biggest joke. To make matters even worse, the movie didn't even take itself seriously. Good.
It wasn't
Are you
supposed
kidding me?
to.
Are you kidding? That's good. It's good when it doesn't. Because the premise is an immortal revenant man in a hockey mask and an immortal dream man fighting each other. Would you have wanted it to be played straight? Is that something you would have wanted? What the fuck? Who are you? How old are you? Okay? Oh my God. All right. To make matters even worse. Okay, no, the plot was so loosely strung together that even with the biggest stretches, it is impossible to make any sense out of it. Okay. Laughable and forgettable. Probably goes down as one of the worst movies in my mind unless you're a 12-year-old boy who wants to see gratuitous nudity. There's like 2 scenes, brother. I found the audience and myself laughing completely throughout the movie. At one point I had to ask my friend, is this supposed to be a parody? Kinda. The writing was horrible. The acting was worst. Okay, and with every line spoken was the obligatory statements that is usually found in a cartoon making fun of horror films such as The Simpsons. That was all one sentence.
I mean, did he not watch the last, 3 or 4 Nightmare movies?
You know, you haven't been with another guy since you were 14. You need to forgive him. Or ever since mom died. Or the escaped mental institution patients turn out to be right. It was just a horrible, horrible movie, not in the tradition of the original Jason and Freddy movies. Some things need to just die and be forgotten, namely this movie. Wow. Be alert.
Be alert.
You know when there is a line that says bad movies? Well, that movie has gone way beyond that line. That line looks like a dot. This is how far this movie is from the line. Seriously, to anyone out there, be alert of any of your friends bringing along that movie for the night. Avoid watching it at all costs.
Oh my God.
The first paragraph of the context was my opinion, but I couldn't submit it because the server indicated that the context should be at least 10 lines. Not a problem at all. Bad cast, worst acting, blood looking like ketchup, plot that a 12-year-old could come up with. How come Jason always walks? The victims are running like Tim Montgomery and he manages to kill them in a few minutes. The Olympic Games are getting closer. Get Jason a free spot. He throws a machete at the guy. Bad. The first 45 minutes of this movie were so bad that it was funny. After that, you just had to sit there banging your head wondering why you paid $7.50 to watch this and wondering even more why this movie was number 1 at the box office for like 3 weeks. I don't know who to despise more, the writers or the director. $7.50, huh? Wow. I remember when movies were that cheap. Now you're lucky to get that on like a fucking matinee.
I had to pay $12.99 to watch it on Amazon.
Oh my God. Okay, pointless. I could describe this movie in one word if I haven't made it clear to you slow people who like this movie. Oh my God. It is pointless.
This guy wants to go.
Plotline sucks. Characters suck. Everything about this movie was horrible. I haven't even been able to sit through the torment of this horrible film. The end left it open for a sequel, but I know one thing.
How do you know that if you didn't sit through the movie?
I will not be seeing that movie. Slasher films made today are completely pointless. What? I don't think they should be made. Everyone has seen the same movie 10 times, only with a different killer and different characters. The only difference is this movie was that there was 2 killers. Whoop-de-doo. Notice the sarcasm. Why am I even wasting my time on commenting on it? Bye. Okay, pal. Slasher movies have always been pointless. What are you talking about, dude? Like, why are you watching it if you don't... Whatever.
What a dumbass.
Contender for the worst film ever made. Every single technical aspect of this movie is atrocious. I wouldn't be surprised if it was revealed that a group of high schoolers were in charge of its production. Okay. Spoilers. Worthless movie.
It sounded like you were trying to read it like Chills for a second.
I might have been. Okay, I went into this movie really wanting to like it, but New Line apparently did not want that to happen. You would think in a battle of two of the biggest horror movie icons of all time that they would at the very least make it even. I refuse to believe Freddy would beat the snot out of Jason as bad as he did in this piece of trash. Oh, so this guy doesn't like it because his guy lost. I refuse to acknowledge the existence of this movie. Not only were the fights one-sided to the extreme, but the killing had no... What do you mean one-sided? Dude, Freddy literally could do anything in a dream. Are you bothered by that?
Jason fucking manhandled him in the real world.
Like, wait, what? What did you expect? Oh my god.
And Jason's been shown to take damage from fucking idiots who don't know how to fight.
Did you expect a fucking JoJo moment where Dio froze time and then Jotaro moved and then Dio was like, what? Did you expect that to happen in the dream world with Freddy and Jason? Where Jason started controlling the dream world and Freddy was like, oh fuck, I'm fucked? Did you expect that to happen? Because that would be stupid. That's why it didn't happen. Oh my god. Oh my god. Not only were but the killing had no creativity at all. I'd come to expect more from Jason than just slashing with a machete, which is all he does in this flick. 0 out of 10, this was worthless. Bro, he is going to hate Scream if he ever watched that. A step back in the horror. What's up, George? What are you doing, buddy? I'm sorry, I got distracted because my cat hopped up on the couch and just started staring at me. Who's a little buddy? Who's a little baby boy? A step back in the horror genre. Nothing new, nothing different, just a bunch of blood and random teen stupidity dished out over a span of an hour and a half. Thus, this is what Freddy vs. Jason is all about. Never mind the cliches and crummy acting, this film was just a travesty to the fact that it was ever made. People's dreams should really be haunted by the fact that this piece of crap somehow made it to the big screen, then made money in the process. I guess there is no hope for the human race when they willingly shell out money for something this boring and ridiculous. Well, here's looking forward to yet another stupid line of horror films. Awesome.
What a fucking downer.
Yeah. Don't waste your time or money. It's amazing that with one movie they managed to completely ruin two decent horror series. I realized that the last Nightmare/Jason movies before this were not doing too well, but this was just pure crap. The acting was horrific, and the only character I really liked, the ass-flashing mental patient, died way too soon. Oh yeah, we forgot to mention his death. The blood spurting reminded me of Monty Python, It's Only a Flesh Wound. That's literally what he says, too. I would have walked out of the theater, but I had already blown $9. Wow. Yeah, so Mark gets killed because his brother, because Freddy needs to send a message that he's back.
I hate people who say that. If you've spent money on it, you might as well sit there through the whole thing. Like, you never know if you might end up liking it better once you finish it. Like,
yeah.
Stop being so fucking stupid.
It's like those people that review, those like actual game journalists that review games that they don't finish. It's like, wow.
So you morons will go spend $500 on a pair of shoes, but you can't sit through a fucking movie.
Yeah. Yeah. This movie was pure vomit. I guess Robert Englund needed a payday because I can see no other reason for this movie. Horrible and very boring. There was nothing scary about it at all. Even the fight scenes were boring. Slashers sucked in the 80s and they still suck today. Why'd you watch this? If you want to see a horror movie this weekend, go see Jeepers Creepers 2. Bro is championing a movie made by a pedophile over this. A pedophile that was convicted prior to the movie coming out. That's what's fucking crazy to me about that franchise, is this dude was a convicted pedophile and they let him make a movie. What the fuck? That's so weird. Oh, anyway, we'll get to that when we talk about it. But although not
Still
a great
good
movie. Oh, wait, hold on. Go see Jeepers Creepers 2. Although not a great movie, it puts this one to shame. So you don't even like the movie that he's recommending. What are you doing? Oh my god. Was this necessary? I know that I do not fit the target demographics for this film. I took my son. But I cannot. It makes it sound like he fucking killed his kid.
Then why are you even reviewing it?
But it makes it sound like he fucking killed his kid.
It offended him so much that he had to just come fucking say something about it.
I cannot believe that anyone would enjoy this piece of garbage. Even before the main credits, I knew that it was in trouble. I found this film to be lacking on so many levels. The story, acting, and cinematography were all poor. I find it funny that the audience most attracted to this film are mostly under the age of 17, who are not supposed to see it based on its R rating. Looking at the audience, I would bet that close to half of them would not have been admitted if the theater had any security whatsoever. Well, yeah, maybe because, I don't know, movies shouldn't be fucking limited. I don't like that. I let fucking whoever wants to watch something. If your kid can handle it, let them watch it. I don't want to talk about it, says a man that wrote a review on IMDb.com. I want to give myself a lobotomy, but this movie may have done it for me. Why did I subject myself to this horror, but not in the genre meaning? I want to remove any memory of this movie from my brain. I must physically cause pain to the person who talked me into watching this god-awful film.
Oh my
He will
God.
pay dearly for his treachery. I am traumatized for life. I hope this dude immediately went and started beating his girlfriend after writing this shit. That is a shame. That is a shame. Okay, let me see. Dreadful. It's not really Freddy versus Jason, at least not until most of the movie is over. Since Hollywood is coming up with all kinds of really dumb sequels, why not Jason versus Aliens? Jason gets implanted with an alien seed and then it pops out of his chest. It's wearing a mask. Think of the box office.
in Mortal Kombat X.
Anyways, the movie should not have been made. It sucks. Oh, and by the way, who on earth these days smokes a green cigar? I don't know, brother.
What?
I don't know.
A green cigar.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means at all. Oh my god, a lot of people didn't like this when it came out. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. If you watch it as a comedy, then you'll enjoy it more. It's so painfully bad, it makes you laugh. So many plot holes, and most of it doesn't even make any sense. Avoid or watch at your own risk. This movie was written by Korn. Jason X came out when I was in middle school and I stayed the hell away from it. The ads had me convinced that it was birthed from the cringe factory of late 90s, early 2000s new metal culture. I was wrong. That movie is downright enjoyable. Unique kills, David Cronenberg, some witty humor derived from the enduring tropes of the series. This right here, Freddy vs. Jason, is the movie I should have worried about. The two villains tear through kills, spilling copious amounts of CGI blood in completely unremarkable fashion, paralleling the homogenized edgelord bullcrap we got from the music of that era.
I can just hear this dude's voice in my head and I want to punch him.
The teenagers trade awkward barbs that I'm positive would have gotten me made fun of at my high school. Freddy hammers his favorite curse word at the whole film, and the whole film stops like they're doing the audience a favor. It's not special when you do it 20 times. I hope the concept gets revisited by people who know how to have fun with it. As if this movie isn't already fun.
Yeah.
What do you... Okay. You wrote that in 2021, huh? Terrible. Worst film ever. Worst film ever. Every cast member should be ashamed of themselves. Spoiler alert, it's crap. All right, let's see if we can find our boy Jacob John Taylor one.
It's got to be, because,
He's
this
gotta
one
have
was scarier.
This one is... Freddy is a ghost, so I consider this horror fantasy. Friday the 13th, Part 12. Every hardcore Friday the 13th fan like myself knows what they want for the next one. Not in space or in Manhattan or even on Elm Street. You want it on Crystal Lake. Don't try and fool yourself. You know that the originals were the scariest. I think New Life Cinema should fuck the Freddy vs. Jason 2 script and hire a really talented writer to come up with a kick-ass story where Jason kills at Camp Crystal Lake. The writer could continue right where Freddy vs. Jason left off. Jason burying Freddy's head and make it more like the original. Give Jason a motive to kill, like him guarding the camp. Hire a good director and cast and make the scariest damn movie possible.
Jason doesn't guard the camp. He kills because his mom told him to.
Yeah. Good movie. Freddy vs. Jason is an awesome movie. If you love the Friday the 13th Nightmare on Elm Street movies, you will definitely love this movie. The fight scenes are excellent. The acting is that typical of the Friday the 13th movies, which makes it even better. Could you imagine good acting in one of those movies? It doesn't make sense. I cannot wait for the DVD. It's going to be packed with bonus features. I also cannot wait for the next installment of Freddy vs. Jason. It will be equally entertaining. How do we tell
Too bad
him?
we never got it.
How do we tell him? How do we tell crazy Mother Rugger?
It was planned, but it never happened.
How do we tell him?
Wasn't it supposed to be like Ash versus Freddy versus Jason?
Yeah, I think because of the setup in Jason Goes to Hell. Yeah.
That would have been so funny.
A dream battle for the ages. As a fan of these two iconic killers, this was everything I wanted it to be and more. Oh, man. Oh, man. I loved it. Jason kicked Freddy's ass throughout this entire movie. Freddy had the comical lines, but talk is cheap. LOL. Jason didn't need to say a word and threw Freddy around like a rag doll.
Oh my god.
He wrote this in 2020. COVID was really doing something to people's brains.
It's like the kid that goes to school the next day excited about the previous night's wrestling matches.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, that's fair. Ugh. Time to put this bad dog to sleep. Not. Freddy vs. Jason is the coolest movie I have seen this year. Forget Terminator 3, Matrix 2, or Hulk. This is way better than those.
Wait, which Hulk came out?
Ang Lee's. In 2003, that was Ang
God.
Lee's Hulk. Which, for what it's worth, has some really cool transitions.
Yeah, I did like that when I saw it in theaters. And then the fight scene with the dogs is great.
Although now that, yeah, it's just a shame that most of that movie is about Bruce Banner and not the Hulk.
Yeah.
But, I think if I watched it now, I'd like it more than I did when I was a kid, just because I'm older now and I have daddy issues. So I think it would hit a little better now, but I'm not going to track it down unless it's like $5 at fucking Half Price Books or something. Although not as good as Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th Part 1, this is still an excellent horror movie. Ronnie Yu should win an Oscar for his direction because, surprisingly, it is even better than Carpenter and Halloween. Hold on.
What?
Hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on, pal. Hold on. Don't say that again. This and Jason X show what slasher have to be, not like some cheesy Scream ripoff. Scream sucks big time. Hold on, buddy. Hold on, buddy. I'm pretty sure if it wasn't for the success of Scream and the renaissance of horror, you would not have Freddy versus Jason. I'm like 99% sure. I hope you live a fruitful life, my friend. A most awesome scare fest. I found this film to be very easily be one of the best horror movies to come along in recent times because it's such an awesome and exciting thrill ride from start to finish. The performances are simply great in the movie, and it works up to a very exciting climax. Highly recommend to anyone in the mood for some good horror fun. Nice. Greatest movie ever next to Lord of the Rings. Oh my God.
This guy puts this movie on a pedestal.
This is the greatest film ever made next to the two Lord of the Ring films.
This is before Return of the King.
Anybody comparing this film next to Jason X shouldn't, because that movie gave God cancer. What the fuck? Oh my God. Oh my God.
This movie gave God cancer.
Jesus Christ. All right. Anybody who hates this film probably is taking this film too seriously. This film is just a good time, and I say bring on 50 more Freddy vs. Jason films. The great thing is that this movie solves a lot of problems. Just broke up with your girlfriend, watch Freddy vs. Jason. Parents just died, watch Freddy vs. Jason. Just got your ass kicked, watch Freddy vs. Jason. It's just like Funyuns, who also solves a lot of problems. What the fuck are you talking about?
This dude was on something.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Freddy vs. Jason is a cure-all. You get cancer, watch Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah.
That's a new in-joke. Fuck it.
Man, I'm having a bad day. Watch Freddy vs. Jason.
It's just like, oh, I got into a car accident. You should watch Freddy vs. Jason, bro. I'm telling you. Healing.
Change your
my
whole
God.
perspective on this.
Oh my God. Gave God cancer. Fast, funny, and fantastic. Freddy vs. Jason is a roller coaster ride of thrills. Plenty of great violence as the death toll rise. Firstly, it was a wonderful idea to bring two of horror's greatest icons in one movie. Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street series, Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th series. I have seen all Freddy and Jason movies already, so I was very excited to see this. They are both the right choice for a horror battle. I don't think Michael Myers, Pinhead, Candyman, or any other boogeyman would have looked good as Freddy and Jason. It has many enjoyable scenes and entertains throughout. This movie didn't do great business, but if you are a horror fan, you must love this movie. Jason looks far better than Freddy. What a weird thing to end the review on. Also, this movie did really good at the box office. I don't know what he's talking about. It did very good.
Yeah.
The best film ever. I love this film. I saw it when it first came out, and I want to see it again. I can't wait until it comes to DVD. The actors did great, and the location was awesome. This is the best one of both of the series. I loved it. Give this film a 10 out of 10. Me writing my review after seeing AVP when I was like fucking, how old was I? 9?
Fuck.
Jesus.
I loved Predator since Predator 1, so.
Best Freddy and Jason movie. This was the best horror flick I've ever seen. Hot teens, watch yourself, brother. Funny killers. This movie should be seen by everyone. It's awesome. Freddy's Krueger's humor is just the best. And Jason's, well, Jason is just good at killing people. Enough said. I hope they make a good sequel. Okay, where is he? Me trying to find Jacob John Taylor 1. Okay, the trivia for Freddy vs. Jason says Oscar Gutierrez is the guy that jumps in Freddy vs. Jason. What guy? Who jumps? I want to know. Oscar Gutierrez is Rey Mysterio from WWE, and that is whom they are referring to. Can someone help me with an answer to this?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
What the fuck? Oh, my God. Oh, my God, we got a guy looking for something. That's great. Not perfect, but still effective. This film isn't perfect, but it's still pretty effective. The motivation behind the two of the legendary killers meeting up makes complete sense, and their actual fights are amazing. An epic slasher conflict. Nah, that guy likes it a lot. Best movie of 2003. Freddy vs. Jason was well worth the wait. It was suspenseful and scary. The plot made sense, and the fight scene between Jason and Freddy was excellent. This is a must-see movie for everyone. Even if you haven't kept up with the series, Freddy gets you all caught up at the beginning of the film. 5 out of 4 stars. Excellent. Oh my God. I just love these fucking screen names. Like, this guy is Jason the Man 2000, or Jason's the Man 2000. Oh my God. Jacob John Taylor, where are you? My son, my boy, I need to find you. You have to be here. There's no way you're not, dude.
We need Godzilla versus Cloverfield.
I mean, remember when everybody thought Cloverfield was a new Godzilla movie?
I mean, it kind of is.
This guy said Halloween rules. Or no, that's his name, Halloween rules. And he says, awesome. I saw this movie twice, and I'm going to see it many more times. It was amazing. The audience at the theater loved every minute of it. I can't wait for the DVD to come out. Every fan of both the series should see this great movie. Freddy vs. Jason is the best. Oh my God. Awesome. I have waited 6 freaking years to see this since they first started working on it, and I was not disappointed. Go see it. Best horror flick I've seen in 10 years. Gonna go see it until they yank it off the screens. Jesus, dude. My man is all in.
He gave half the movie's budget back.
Shit, he might have, dude. He's like that. He's like that dude that saw Captain Marvel like 100 something times.
Oh my God,
That's
I forgot about that.
That's him, dude.
He just likes Brie Larson.
I mean, who doesn't? I'm gonna be real, but actually, a lot of people don't like Brie Larson.
A lot of people don't like her, but I don't know. In interviews I've seen, she seems like a fun person to be around.
Well, they just, yeah, I don't know. I think it's.
And
it's
then
silly.
someone made a whole Twitter account based on her wearing a dress that showed her boobs, and it was just nothing but pictures of that.
Hey, man.
Just the same picture over and over again, posted at different like angles or like fucking boards or whatever the fuck.
Hey, we all need hobbies, brother. The Grumpy Ass says the coolest movie ever. I went to see it on opening day, and I loved it. It was the coolest. It was scary, funny, and clever. It didn't leave you hanging, but it left you on the edge of your seat, though you could predict some of what was going to happen. I loved how they brought both villains together to fight the ultimate battle. This movie was clever to combine the two the way they did. This movie had a lot of blood and gore, but it was awesome. The story was good. I'm glad it took this long to find a perfect story. This is a must-see for any horror movie person. This is the coolest horror movie. I recommend this big time. That wasn't Jacob John Taylor, but I'll take it. Did he not write a review? Please, I know you had to, dude. Come on, I need you to write a review for this. I need to know what you thought. I must know.
Oh, he must.
Wow.
Wow.
There are a lot of 10-star reviews, though. That's probably why I'm not finding them.
Yeah.
Jeepers Creepers 67.
What a name.
Ross Robinson. The Movie Doctor. JC Butthead 86. feel like God, he wrote a fucking goddamn fucking essay. Jesus. A lot of people are writing essays. This movie means a lot to some people, and then the people that don't like it really fucking don't like it, which is funny, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
I gotta find him.
You're not gonna find him.
I gotta find him. He has to be
He's
here
not
somewhere.
there.
He has to be here somewhere.
I'm hungry.
Why? Why are you hungry?
Because
Why not?
I
Or
haven't
why,
eaten all day.
Why not? No, he doesn't have a review. No.
it was too scary for him. He couldn't handle it.
No.
He-
Okay, well,
He finally saw the one that was too scary. Couldn't put it into words.
scared him to death. R.I.P. to our friend Jacob John Taylor. One. I hope we see him again
Yeah, he'll probably be
in
back.
the afterlife.
I'm sure he watched the remake.
Oh God, that's what's next, isn't it?
Well, which one's next? Jason or Freddy remake?
It'd be. This is considered because this is part of the Friday the 13th box set, so this is considered Friday the 13th. So next is.
But I considered it a Freddy movie. So you watch Freddy remake, I'll watch Jason remake, and then we just do them simultaneously.
We could do that.
No, because I need to watch the Freddy remake anyway. I want to see my girlfriend's
Well-
reaction to it.
Well, they're both by the same production company, Platinum Dunes,
Yeah.
and I think it would be a nice wrap up actually to do them together. We might need a couple weeks though, because like I said, next week I'm going to see Audition.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, let me see if I can find it on Blu-ray.
Blu-ray.
On Elm Street 2010. Ooh, what a fucking bad movie.
Yeah, it really sucks.
I can't wait to watch it. Ooh. So I can fucking shit on it.
And then the Friday the 13th remake has the dude from Supernatural in it.
Yeah, Jared
Pepper
Padalecki,
Blakey,
right?
whatever the fuck his name is.
A Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 2, or okay, that's not, I don't want that. Bro, are you serious? Is this movie just not available?
They burned all copies.
Okay,
Just buy it digitally.
I might have to.
Just rent it for $3.
I might have to. I'm going to just read about it probably. That's what I'll do if I can't find it. I'll look later. Anyway, that's our episode. It was a little bit of a shorter one today.
Just watch the kill counts like I do when I forget to watch the movies.
Partially because I really have to use the bathroom. But
Awesome.
But today was a good day. So next time, I guess, yeah, it's a good idea. Let's just do both of them. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Friday the 13th remake and a Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Let's
Together.
Get on with...
Both remade by the same company, Michael Bay's studio, Platinum Dunes.
Yeah.
Which I think is weird. But yeah, we're going to talk about both of them and talk about how one is much better than the other probably.
Yeah.
But that's all I got for today. You got anything else to add, Justin?
Just watch this movie. You don't have to take it seriously. You don't even have to like the fucking actors because it doesn't waste its time introducing you to these dumb characters and making them so important that Freddy and Jason get left out for the movie. No.
Yeah, the movie knows what its premise is and delivers on it very well.
It's just fun. Like, just watch it and you'll laugh. You might get jump scared. It's just your fucking horror movie characters fighting each other. Like, when is that ever gonna happen again? Probably not.
Probably never.
I mean,
yeah.
This is the best one that's out there.
Yep. Yeah, we did get Godzilla versus Kong though.
I mean, that's
Not horror, but I
that's
know
not
you know
horror,
as far as like icons fighting each other. I guess. I don't
like
know.
that's the joy I get out of watching that movie. The same joy I get out of watching Freddy versus Jason, which is why I don't care that people bitch about that movie because it's just fucking monsters fighting. Like, what more do you want?
Some people, I guess, want every movie to be The Godfather. But anyway,
And then,
yeah,
then fucking New Empire already promises an 8-minute long fight with
Can't
no
wait.
interruptions.
can't wait.
Too bad
gonna
the
be
toys
good.
already revealed the villain.
Can't wait. I don't know who that is, but all right. Anyway,
It's a weird fucking ice lizard looking thing.
oh, okay. But yeah, so anyway, that's Freddy versus Jason. Good movie. Had a good time with it. We're almost done.
Almost.
Got one more. Then after that, we got Evil Dead Rise. Then after that, we got fucking
Scream.
Martyrs.
Oh,
Then after that, we start Scream.
Oh.
So yeah, super fun. Follow us on Facebook. Justin runs that shit pretty well.
Sometimes.
Follow us.
Some fucking hacker account tried to tell me that I was that the page was misusing like conduct, and like what conduct am I misusing? And then I looked at the profile and it was just a fake fucking thing.
Yeah.
Just trying to send a link to everybody.
Crazy.
What
You
a
gotta
piece of shit.
Be careful, boys, everybody. But yeah, follow us on YouTube. Follow us wherever you watch or listen to podcasts.
And yeah, to that person who commented saying, watch the Art the Clown shit from All Hallows Eve. Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's the idea for whenever we do Terrifier. We're probably going to do all of that together before 3 comes out. I don't know when before 3. We might do it as a one-off. Well, I mean, it's going to be a one-off, but because that's our rule, is that if it's a movie, if it's just 2 movies in a franchise, that's a one-off. So that's our rule. So there's only 2 Terrifier movies right now. So with that being said, you know, so probably before 3 comes out, we'll do that.
I mean, really, we can talk about both those movies in an instant.
Yeah,
there's not much to them. I mean, aside from the second one does drag sometimes.
We'll get there. We'll get there. But yeah, we'll add the All Hallows Eve stuff to that. But anyway, yeah. So that's all we got. Follow us. Thanks for listening. Follow us everywhere you listen to podcasts and shit. And thanks again for checking us out. Y'all are great. It's
fucking cold.
It is very cold. Stay warm if you're getting hit with an Arctic blast. All right, just stay as warm as you can. It is cold as shit. Anyway, we'll catch you next time when we talk about all of the fucking movies.
The remakes.
Of both remakes.
Awesome.
Yeah, woo. So yeah, we need a couple weeks for that. Because yeah, I'm gonna be busy next Monday. But outside of that,
I can keep marathoning Star Wars.
Hell yeah! All right, that's it. Stay good out there. I can't think of anything to say.
You said that's it, so I mean, I assume we might have some younger audience members. So you should have said "stay lit" because it rhymed.
You proud of that one?
No, I'm not.
Okay, good. Anyway, we'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.